That's my album.
I know.
You want me to call it? Sakal.
And this is
Jeremy.
Jeremy.
All right. Okay.
Okey-doke.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat Shalom.
and welcome to our Shabbat service at Monmouth Reformed Temple. We're going to begin with the Psalm for the Sabbath day, Tov Lahodot, on page 140. I'd like to invite Eva Sakal to come and light the Shabbat candles.
We're on page 120.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We're on page 122.
The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day God finished the work that God had been doing. And God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'ratzon hinilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit. Yom Tehillah lemigrae kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, ki banu
did so well. Several choir members here tonight. I'm going to ask you to join the choir. Thank you, Eva. Eva is a wonderful music teacher and very accomplished musician, as you could tell.
So,
We could tell.
we turn to page 146 and continue with Baruch Hu. If you are comfortable standing, please rise.
Baruch Hu et Adonai, Amevorach. Baruch Adonai, Amevorach le'olam va'ed.
On page 148. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. On page 150.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ata, Torah mitzvot ukimu mishpatim, Otanu limadta. Arkein, Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu, u'b'kumeinu, na'asirach b'chukecha, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגע יומם ולילה. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
You may be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אלוהים מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
On page 156 at the bottom. All this we hold to be true and trustworthy for us. You alone are our God, and we are Israel, your people. You are our sovereign and Savior who delivers us from oppressors' hands and saves us from tyrants' fists. You work wonders without number, marvels beyond count. You give us life and steady our footsteps. You performed miracles for us before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of the Egyptians. You led your people Israel out from their midst to freedom for all time. When your children witnessed your dominance, they praised your name in gratitude and they accepted your sovereignty. Moses, Miriam, and all Israel sang to you together, lifting their voices joyously. God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim.
That's like I call it the girl from Ipanema, Yismachu.
We continue with the tefillah, and at this point, we cease to be a congregation, and we become individuals praying to God individually in our own way, in words, in thoughts, in pictures, in however you communicate to God. And try to take some time also to see if you can intuit what God is telling each of us. Page 164.
Please rise.
Please rise.
Adonai sefatay tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor HaNorah, Elyon, Gomel HaTzadim Tovim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevii Gula Livnei Bneihem, L'man Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Yizrat Sarah, atah Gibor L'olam Adonai, Michei Kol atah Rab Nehushia, Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Hayim V'Chesed, Mechaye HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Samich Noflim D'Ofei Chodim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayim Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamo Chaval Givurot, Umidam Melach, Melech Mevit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, Beneman Atal HaChayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol, Atah Kadosh U'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kedoshim B'chol Yom Yahalu Chasela, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Please be seated. Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Blessed is the Eternal One, the Holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. On 173, may these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Retzei Adonai Eloheinu, ve'amecha Yisrael, u'tefilatam me'ahava tekabel, u'tehi l'ratzon
at the top of page 177. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha u'lecha na'el l'chodot. We take a few moments for silent prayer. For the reading of the Torah, please turn to page 364 and rise.
Zusharim Rosheichem B'chinasu Pitchei Olam V'yavo Melech HaKavod V'huze Melech HaKavod Adonai Tzvaot U'melech HaKavod Se'ela U'melech HaKavod Se'ela Se'ela דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, העולם עומד. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. והערננו בתורתך ודבק בנו במצוותיך והגענו לבבינו לאהבה ויראה את שמך ולא נבוש לעולם חיים ולא נבוש לעולם חיים.
We'd like to call Jeremy Turk to the bima for the aliyah. Which side do you want to be on?
Wherever you want.
Okay. I'll find my place and show you. This tiny scroll. Yeah, this is it. Vaydaber, right there.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Amen. Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe Lemor. Daber el Bnei Yisrael. V'yikchu li teruma me'et kol ish asher yidvenu libo. Tikru et terumati. V'zot hatruma asher tikru me'itam. Zahav v'chesef u'nechoshet. ותכלת וארגמן ותולת שני ושש ועזים ואורות אלים אדומים ואורות תחושים ויעשי שיטים שמן ומאור ושמים לשמן המשחה ולקטורת הסמים אבני שוחם ואבני מילואים לאפוד ולחושן. ועשו לי מקדש ושכנתי בתוכם ככל אשר אני מראה אותך את תבנית המשכן ואת תבנית כל כליו וכן תעשו.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Natan Lanu Torah Emet V'kayei Olam Natav B'tochenu Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Yasher Koach, Rabbi. And Jeremy, all these years I've known you, and I didn't know you could
A
sing.
nice voice.
Beautiful voice. You and Eva are our new recruits.
Okay. Oh, it's Vizot, huh? Okay.
It's good, whatever. I'm ready for all eventualities.
Okay. Who's doing Hagba?
Oh, me? I got to do everything around
Okay.
Please rise.
וזאת התורה אשר שמשה לפני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. וזאת התורה אשר שמשה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. לי 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 לי
While the Torah is still before us, we pray for those who need our prayers for healing, for Rabbi Robert Orrick, Nancy Baskin, Martha Brandween, Norma Cohn, Miriam Solons, Eileen High, Nancy Keller Coffey, Marcy Seligman Waite, Robert Summers, Louisa Corallo, Lois St. Lifer Fields, and Dory Hilson, and
Barry Gilchrist.
Mark Mendelo. Any other names?
We say together on page 371, our prayer of healing, Misha Beira.
Help us find courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Beirach Imotenu, Bekor HaBracha V'Avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. It's Chaim liv, Mamachazikima, V'Novon Lechecha, Ve'ushar, Deracheka, Darchenu, V'Kol Tivotecha, Shalom. Ashivenu Adonai, Elecha v'nashua, Kadesh Yameinu kekedem, Kadesh Yameinu kekedem.
Make me a sanctuary, and I will dwell in your midst. God tells Moses to tell the children of Israel. They are to bring precious metals, jewels, fabrics, and wood, oils and spices, because God isn't asking for just any old sanctuary. God gives specific details for the size, the color, the materials, and the placement of each item. And once it is done, it will be a dwelling, so that God can be in the midst of the Israelite people. The Mishkan was built to be a place to make sacrifices to God. Sacrifices are nothing new. They've been going on since the beginning of the Torah. Cain and Abel brought sacrifices. So did Noah, Abraham, and Jacob. But this is the first time that God has commanded sacrifices. Quite frankly, this does not sound like the God that we've come to know from the Torah up until now. God has been insistent on not being pinned down. Unlike the gods of Egypt, God will not identify by any name, only telling Moses, "Say to Pharaoh, I am sent you." God is formless and manifests only in signs and wonders. What does God need with a sanctuary and with the sacrifices that will take place in it? Perhaps God doesn't. Perhaps the ones who need the Mishkan are the Israelites themselves. Rashi posits that the Torah is out of chronological order at this point. Even though the story of the golden calf will not be told for another 2 weeks, it makes much more sense to understand it according to Rashi's timetable. The Israelites hear the voice of God at Mount Sinai. and beg Moses to get the rest of the law from God and tell it to them, because they are afraid that they will die from hearing God's voice. Moses goes up the mountain for 40 days and nights. When he does not return, the people become fearful and they build for themselves a golden calf to worship. Moses returns to the camp, breaks the tablets in anger, and goes back up the mountain to receive a second set. Only then, Rashi contends, does God command the building of the Mishkan and the order of the sacrifices. God seems to realize that the children of Israel cannot yet grasp the concept of an unseen deity, and they need a tangible structure as an assurance of God's presence. If so, is the Mishkan nothing but a busy work project to keep the Israelites from building another idol? Is it nothing more than an ancient fidget spinner to keep them out of trouble? From the time of the end of the plagues, all the Israelites have been doing is taking. At Moses' bidding, they took riches from their Egyptian neighbors before the Exodus. God gave them water in the desert, fed them with manna, and as we learn in Deuteronomy, their shoes and clothing never wore out during their 40-year sojourn in the wilderness. By commanding the building of the Mishkan, God gives the Israelites the opportunity to be givers instead of takers. Jewish tradition emphasizes the dignity of each person and is careful of the feelings of those who must take from others. We're enjoined to leave the grain at the corners of the field for the poor to glean, at the edges rather than in the center, so that those who need a handout will not be humiliated by being seen. Maimonides developed an 8-point ladder of tzedakah, in which the highest form of tzedakah is to teach a person a trade or give them a job, so that they will have the dignity of honest work and no longer need to depend on others for their sustenance. Rabbi Jonathan Sacks, former chief rabbi of the British Empire, in an essay on this Torah portion, tells of when he was a small boy wanting to give his father a gift, but having not a lot of money. And he says this: "In some shop, I found a plastic model of a silver trophy. Underneath it was a plaque that read, 'To the best father in the world.' Today, all these years later, I cringe at the memory of that object. It was cheap, banal, almost comically absurd. What was unforgettable, though, was what he did after I had given it to him. I can't remember what he said or whether he even smiled. What I do remember is that he placed it on his bedside table, where it remained, humble, trite, for all the years that I was living at home. He allowed me to give him something, and then showed that the gift mattered to him. In that act, he gave me dignity. He let me see that I could give, even to someone who had given me all that I had." God had given the children of Israel all that they had now: freedom, sustenance, and law. Now God has given them the gift of allowing them to give something of themselves to God. And let us not forget that after the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem, we replaced the sacrifice of animals with avodah shebalev, the sacrifice of the heart, prayer. Does God need to hear our words of prayer and thanksgiving any more than God needed the tabernacle and its sacrifices? Rather, God, who has given us the immeasurable gift of life on this earth, has also allowed us the dignity of being able to give. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. I want to thank Rabbi Bergson for telling me about this beautiful rendition of the text tonight that she chanted in the Torah, Vasuli Mikdash V'shachanti B'tocham, which means, God, as she said in her sermon as well, prepare me a sanctuary and I shall dwell there. So Evan and I are going to sing that as a duet. First in Hebrew and then in English, and it's based on an American folk song from the Shaker tradition.
I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving. I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
We turn to page 586 for Aleinu. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, batei gedula leotzer bereshit, shehu asan. I forgot which one we're doing. Hang on. Okay. Ushchinat uzo begovhei meromim, hu Eloheinu Einod, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech, Mochei hamnakim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'nehemar, v'haya Adonai, lemelech al kol haaretz, v'yom hahu, yihyeh Adonai echad, u'shemo,
You may be seated. On page 593. The light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows. It is radiant with warmth and beauty. But soon it fades, its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our lives are full. But as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down in gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives, we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. At this time, we remember those who died at this season in years past. Edith Albert, Ray Barshak, Lillian Bernstein, Abraham Bialy, Fred Chalnick, Jose Colmenares, Marjorie Fishman, Eugene German, Seymour Grauer, Philip Kalb, Rose Levinsky, Ann Mariner, Maurice Meyer Jr., Raymond Mish, Jean Morse, John Richardson Clissold, Harry Sherman, Rose Schiller, Dorothy Silfen, Beatrice Silverman, Sophie Wald, Max Walski, Louise Zarin, and we are in the Shiva period of mourning for Fred Fehrenbach. Are there other names to be added to the list? Good. We continue with the Kaddish on page 598. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah v'alma divarach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael v'agala uv'zman kari v'yimeru amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah mevarach la'alam ul'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, Shemei dekudesha barichu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbachata v'nechamata, Damiran ba'alma v'yimaru, Amen. Yehi shalom rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimaru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'ramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimaru, Amen.
Oh, say shalom b'ramav, say shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimaru, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
On behalf of Monmouth Reformed Temple, I want to welcome you and thank you for joining us tonight, both in our sanctuary and via live stream. We have some announcements for this evening. More information about each can be found in the weekly e-blast. We are collecting items to support survivors of the devastating earthquake that rocked Turkey and Syria. A bin is in the MRT lobby, and the collection will continue until March 10th. Virtual Torah study is tomorrow at 9 a.m. on Google Meet. Join us for our first Friday Shabbat service on March 3rd. Following the service, stay for the great MRT Family Recipe Swap, which is a multiple generation event. Sign up to bring the dish your family loves to eat. Online recipe book will be assembled. Check the e-blast for more information and the link to sign up. Our adult Purim spiel, entitled Shushan State of Mind of Billy Joel Purim, will be on Saturday, March 11th at 6 p.m. After the show, stay for dinner. Food will be catered from Harold's Deli. Cost is $18 a person. RSVP to the temple office by March 9th. Join the Adult Ed Committee for a Zoom tour of the Museum of Southern Jewish Experience on Thursday, March 16th at 7 p.m. For the month of February, our tzedakah collection is supporting the Reformation Food Pantry in West Long Branch. The pantry serves the residents of Long Branch. Clients are able to shop for their own food with volunteers. In addition, they provide them with a sympathetic ear and referrals to other social agencies as needed. Gail Topper will be matching the donations. There are members of our MRT congregation who are very sensitive to scents. MRT strives to provide a scent-free environment in our building. The MRT community asks that you avoid wearing scents of any kind when coming to our synagogue, and we ask that you please inform your guests who visit with us as well. Thank you for being our partner in creating a scent-free environment. While we all wish COVID was over and a distant memory, the reality is that it's still very real. So we respectfully remind you to stay vigilant and remain considerate. When attending MRT services and events, please make sure, as much as possible, that you are healthy and symptom-free. Our synagogue continues to engage together in meaningful ways. We would love for more people to invest in our mission of helping others and connecting as a Jewish community. We welcome your investment and gift to help us to continue to grow. For information on joining our MRT family or making a donation, please contact Jordana Steinberg in our office or visit our website, www.monmouthreformedtemple.org. Cantor is always available as well. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much, Rabbi Bergson.
Thank you, Cantor.
I'm going to have us close with a song on page 672. So although this is a little bit late, it's
Or very early.
or very early. So a couple of weeks ago in Israel, we celebrated the birthday of the trees, the holiday of the trees, Tu B'Shvat. Okay, it's a beautiful holiday in Israel. And you eat all these foods like the carob and the pomegranate and all these things that grow in Israel. It's a beautiful holiday. And there are little songs that go along with Tu B'Shvat that are really cute songs, and we're going to sing one of them. But tonight specifically, I thought that I found it meaningful to think about the olive tree. So the song is Atzei Zeitim Omdim. Olive trees are standing. And if you go to Israel, you will walk among trees that are thousands of years old. They have seen many hardships before the Jewish people. They have seen persecution, and they're still standing. They're not really gorgeous trees. They're not really tall trees. And they have limbs that move easily. They're very flexible and resilient. And these are the trees that last, the trees that are flexible and resilient. And this is, I think, a good lesson for us right now as we face, a lot of people who don't want us to be standing, but we're still standing. So this is a very jolly song, and the kids do a dance, and you don't have to, but you'll get the hang of it.
But you
It's
may.
the words, and then la, 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 so you'll be good.
3 words.
Atse Zaitim Omdim.
Atse Zaitim Omdim, Atse Zaitim Omdim, Atse Zaitim Omdim, Atse Zaitim Omdim. La la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la. Atse Zaitim Omdim, la 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 la. Atse Zaitim Omdim, Atse Zaitim Omdim, Atse Zaitim Omdim, Atse Zaitim Omdim, Atse Zaitim Omdim.
That's me.
The Motzi?
No, I got a benediction.
Oh, of course.
Benediction. Adonai oz lamo yiten, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. May Adonai grant strength to our people. May Adonai bless our people with peace. Baruch
atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. And come join us for the oneg next door.